My name's Austin Blau, and I'm the music composer for Rodent Retribution. We're working on the demo for the game right now, and so I made some demo tracks, and I thought it'd be cool to go through some of them. So this one is called Sewer Start, which is a super original name. It's kind of a placeholder, like a lot of stuff on here, but yeah, it basically covers the first section that you go through in the demo. So the song itself basically sounds like this. Which is pretty cool. The way that we go into that, though, is this drum solo intro, which is kind of an homage to the drum intro of Song for the Dead from Queens of the Stone Age. And so I thought we would do an homage to that and have a drum intro that's tied to the first section that you play in. So essentially, this drum intro plays when you get into the first section. And then from there, whenever you decide to leave that area and go into combat is when this transition plays. Which goes into that last section. And so essentially within the audio implementation software Wise, which is where all this music gets dumped into, we're just making it loop. And then once an action is triggered, which is the person leaving that area, it then has the music wait till the next measure. And then from that point, it plays the transition and then plays the rest of the track. So you're kind of the deciding factor as the player to when this intro ends and when the next portion begins. Pretty simple, but we thought it'd be a good way to introduce and get you ready for a combat sequence instead of it just coming out of nowhere. So that was really fun to make. And yeah, here's a little bit of it. So yeah, beyond that, we can go through the track itself, which I'm using the GGD Metal kit, which is their One Kit Wonder. Which sounds great. I'm just adding a little bit of compression, EQ, nothing too crazy. And then beyond that, there are the guitars, which there's a lot of MIDI guitars. Like that's MIDI. That's MIDI as well, but these are real guitars. Don't mind the terrible playing. It's a demo, which is a really nice excuse that you can use when you're messing stuff up. But it works well for this. So yeah, and then there's some detuned guitars. And a bunch of random stuff. I think there's like something here. That was a guitar, but I changed the fade out into a slowdown for both of these sounds, which I don't remember what they were. It's probably whatever this was, bounced out. And it works in context. So I like it. It works really well. That happens a lot of times where there's a lot of things in here that are muted, strange random things that just work and I leave them in. And yeah, it's always kind of, all of my sessions are very experimental in that sense. Sometimes I'm using the same stuff I always use and sometimes I'm just doing random things, but it's all just to see what works. Next is bass, which is really simple. It's Euro bass and a sub bass that I made. Sounds great. And then there's a bunch of rhythm synths in here. Like there's a tube synth, which was made from pipe sounds that I have, which is like a one-shot sample. I threw it into a sampler, threw some distortion, reverb, and it sounds pretty cool. And then there's a bunch of other sounds on here, like the Boingo synth. That is just, I call it the Boingo synth. It's some patch I found that I manipulated a bit, and then I added a bunch of other plugins on top, and it has like a boingo sound. So that's yeah, why I named it that. There's some lead sounds on here. I even just added in more recently this lead sound in here. Which is from my friend Jeff's company Noise Department, that preset, which is amazing. All of the sounds that he has in here are incredible from Noise Department, so I definitely recommend them. Beyond that, there's a bunch of random things in here. There's tons of different things. This one synth sound that I made a while back, which has a bunch of different plugins on it. Some are very redundant, but it works. It sounds pretty good. It just helps for whatever was needed within this whole stack of synths. Beyond rhythm synths, there's electronic drums, which is mainly just some kicks, some hi-hats, and then this kick start sound. I'm using the Argent compressor, which is very, very handy. And yeah, I think there's a little bit of distortion on there in Serum as well. Yeah, a little bit of distortion. I don't remember where I got Kickstart from, but I'm pretty sure I didn't make that. And then there's a bunch of risers, simple risers, which I got from someone else, and I always just add some reverb on. It's really helpful. All these small little risers in here. Some impact shatters, which are always really helpful. There's a bunch of those around. And a couple small hits in here as well. Yeah, really basic. And some white noise effects as well. It just helps kind of fill some space. Just a pretty basic idea, but yeah, and then all this is broken out into different sections in here, which we use in Wise as a pretty simplistic way right now to break up different sections that can play. Some alternatives, some electronic builds, just so that the section feels like when you're in combat, it's moving and flowing a little bit more organically and isn't just looping the same thing over and over. We want to make it a lot more complex, and I have a lot of plans for that, but at least for now, it works. It's pretty simple, and it's great. And I typically also like to write with the video playing next to me, just as a way to make sure that the timing is right on things and that the vibe is right. So that's always playing next to me as well. But yeah, hope this was informative, and yeah, thanks for checking it out. Later.